Happy Friday, beautiful bakers. Today I thought we will have a go at two-toning my gorgeous little knitted whale that I just popped up this week. He is so sweet. He would be perfect for a baby shower, a first birthday, any sort of under the sea theme. I just think he's super cute. I'm not going to do a whole range to go with him, so I don't think I'll be doing crabs and octopuses or anything like that. I really like the fact that he's a bit of a hero cookie. And I'll probably be leaning a bit more towards that sort of style moving forward. Anywho, let's get him decorated, and he's on a lovely little chocolate cookie background. Yum. Okay, so here is my stamp. I'm using the Bakewell's release spray for this because he has quite a deep impression and lots of details. I really like using the spray on this sort of thing. So I'm giving him a decent spray, but I'm not going crazy. And then I'm just working that spray into all of the detail. You really want to concentrate on the knit pattern because it can be a little bit tricky. So you want to make sure you've got plenty of great coverage in that area there. Now I'm going to go and just get the icing color that I've chosen, which I'm going to go for a Colormill denim. I think it's just a really sweet, lovely little soft blue. So I'm just going to pop that in there, give it a bit of a press down. I'm just starting from one end. You can roll it out and then do it, but I find this works really well when you've got to do like a long sweeping motion. So I sort of press it in a bit, and then I'm wiggling and I'm holding it down as close as an angle as I possibly can to the stamp, and I'm following the direction of that pattern through. Now don't worry if you miss bits. You will miss bits. It's a huge area to cover. You can just go back and fill them in, but I think it's a good idea to just keep following along the direction of the pattern that you're doing. When you're doing a large area, you can get lift like that. Just go back and just fill him in. Okay, so now with my little scrap fondant, I'm just picking out the bits here that I don't want. I'm leaving his underbelly a different color, and then I'm using that to just pull out his little eye perfectly there. Then I'm just going to go back and I'm going to do his little tail. Again, just holding down, wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. Make sure you're pulling that out nice and flat because you don't want bleed. It can be a real pain to try and fix. If I do get bleed, I'll show you my little technique to trying to save a cookie. Okay, so I've got that beautifully in there. He's got plenty of coverage. Now I'm just getting my little fondant eraser and I'm going to rub that around the edges and get off any sort of fondant blur. I overfilled my tail, so you can see that's actually pulling that out a bit. So I'm just going to go back and give that a little bit of a pull over. Okay, I'm pretty happy with that. I think he looks pretty good. So I'm now going to get my base color out. So I'll sit that aside for a second. I'm just using a little bit of corn flour on the bottom there, just to make him easier to lift. I'm using the AmeriColor Ivory here. I think I've spoken about this before. I use it a lot as my base color. It's just a bit softer than white and not as crazy as cream, but you only need a tiny bit. It does throw a really buttery yellow if you go crazy, and I'm talking like matchstick dot. Okay, so I've done the roll of my base, and then working quickly because I don't want him to dry out, I'm going to pop my stamp on there and I'm going to give him a really firm push to make sure I've got that contact happening. Going to give him a rub over with the end of my mini rolling pin happy with that. And then I'm going to roll and make sure I've got no air bubbles. But I'm really applying some pressure here because of the detail, and I want that all to come out of the stamp nice and cleanly. Just going a couple of different directions there. Pretty happy with that. Now, let's see what happens. It's always scary doing the lift. Thank God. Okay, there he is. I'm just going to get my cutter. A little bit of fluff on that icing there. Don't look. Sure my grandbabies won't mind. They're the only ones that eat my cookies anymore. Then I'll lift him up so you can see what he looks like. God, I think my stomach's rumbling. If you can hear that, I'm really sorry. Here he is in all his glory. Isn't he just beautiful? Yum, yum. Anyway, have a fabulous weekend, beautiful bakers, and I'll pop back next week with some more tutorials. Ciao.